we're out on a little immersive engagement tour of the hills and the mountains, and here we are. And I was wondering if you could say a few words of what it's like, you know, in this immersive engagement, being here in Cyprus, looking at your work and life, and what's been opening up for you, and what would you say to someone thinking about maybe working with me?
Well, without question, Erkan, it's been very interesting being with you again. You've got an electric sense of humour, but you also tell people the truth. You make people realise that there's more perhaps to their day-to-day lives than they've been accustomed to. And I certainly have felt that since I've been here. I felt very comfortable here. Who's not going to like it, let's be honest. And the fact of the matter is, you can engage with people. You can engage with people. I can engage with you. We get things done. We go through and we do problems, and we get there. And I feel that your style, somewhat direct, is perfect for getting results. And I certainly have felt it myself over the last few days. And look forward to coming and seeing you again in the future.
So, Chris, tell me, what's your experience been like here in North Cyprus, working together?
It's been a complete break for me, because I've been able to refocus on so many things, because you get away from the norm. You get away from any life where you might live at the moment, and you just bask in the sunshine. And monuments like this is a monastery. It's just incredible. And I've been able to sort of reflect on a lot of things. Not necessarily anything to do with running a large business or whatever, because that's not what I'm doing. What I'm doing is trying to create my own place, or our own place in Wales, where we're growing our own food. And sometimes coming away from anything, you think about how you could do things better. I've certainly got some ideas. I'm going to try and take them back and see what I can do with them. But look at this place. It's heaven. It's absolutely amazing. Untouched, uncommercialised. No American big brands. Quite refreshing, really. Yeah. I'll definitely want to come again, if you have me.
Hi everyone, welcome to this special conversation with Chris Hughes, a friend of mine who's currently in Wales, and I want to share with you, those of you might be interested in what I'm calling immersive engagement. And immersive engagement is an idea that I've been trialing for the last couple of months. It's inviting guests, clients to come and stay with me, work on their particular projects, issues, concerns, interests, and give them an experience of nature, give them an experience of North Cyprus, with Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, and send them home with immense value. So, Chris, I'd like to welcome you. So, this is Chris Hughes. Would you like to introduce yourself to the audience, Chris?
Good afternoon, everyone. It's Chris Hughes here. Recently come back from the Turkish Republic of North Cyprus, having spent a wonderful time with Erkan, which we'll go into shortly. But at the moment, I'm back in sunny, or not so sunny, Wales, 15 degrees. I know you're enjoying about 32, Erkan, so you can imagine how I'm feeling at the moment. But I'm somebody who's already worked in a lot of corporate businesses, and have completely walked away from that way of life already. But it's interesting that even though I've done that and I am enjoying nature here in Wales, sometimes you need to do something different to recharge your batteries, to re-engage with what's going on out there and with your own life sometimes. And we've certainly enjoyed that with Erkan and his company and family here in in the North, the Turkish Republic of North Cyprus.
Brilliant.
Let's get that correct.
Thanks, Chris. It's interesting you say that. It doesn't matter what stage of life you're at, a refresh or approach or different perspective on your life and your projects. It's a great way of going back recharge, and I think this idea of
Yeah, yeah.
immersive. I was thinking, what's the difference between immersive and residential? Well, I think residential is you go to an event, you go to a course or seminar, whatever it is, and you've got a room in a hotel, and you go to your room and you come back and the people are there. But we were doing a living. You were living with us, we're
We were,
together.
yeah.
No, but before you came out, what was your perspective on what it might be like to come over to Cyprus and spend time here? What was you?
Well, my perception really was that it was an opportunity to get a break, and I wasn't sure what to expect. Unfortunately, because all I've done all my life has been immersed in media, I'd heard only bad things about Northern Cyprus, which is completely untrue. Having now been there and enjoyed it. Um, so my perception was, well, maybe I will get to unwind a bit and experience a different style of life. I wasn't completely aware it was going to be quite so immersive. If I might be a little bit light-hearted for a moment, I think that it wasn't so much immersive as also submersive because of the number of times we went to the sea. But it is a different experience. Um, I wasn't sure what to expect, to be honest with you. I knew I was going to be staying with you. What was I expecting? I'm not sure. I came pretty open-minded. That's the way
That's
I
really, but it's
was.
interesting what you said because a lot of people have said that to me about Northern Cyprus. They really don't, because it's often presented as the occupied territories or Turkey invaded, and we are an unrecognised state. I think probably the only unrecognised state in the world. So it does make it a unique place, and I think the fact that we don't have all the Starbucks and the McDonald's and the KFCs and the Costa coffees and the all that stuff,
Yeah,
it's a very
yeah.
different experience. So there's not many places in the world that you go out. It's not hugely commercially corporatized.
No, and that in itself is something I wanted to talk about because when you arrive, you do feel well. It's quite busy, and you're going across the border into northern Cyprus. Quite normal, normal buildings, everything else going on, a normal way of life. But there's something that you don't really appreciate is the abundance of nature and everything else that's happening here in North Cyprus, because we've got it here, obviously, but to see all these things growing right in your face, as it were, it is totally amazing. And the goji berries, for instance, which we saw, they're there. Everything's there. You just have to look a little bit deeper, and yeah, I completely get the move away from commercialism. Um, the big corporates just don't make it in Northern Cyprus, and it's so refreshing not to see
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
It does actually make you feel better
Just
about
to
the world.
just to reference what Chris is saying, there's some ruins here called the Salamis ruins, and there's a long walk. There's a lot of walking opportunities, lots of walking paths, and there's just surrounded with goji berry bushes, and we stop and pick fresh goji berries off the bushes and eat them, and it's just an amazing experience. I mean, it's quite often we'll be driving along and see a tree with fruit on it, or it's like you're right. There isn't this control factor that you'd see probably in other countries, especially more countries that have more governance around them. But anyway, we'll get off North Cyprus because I think we could go on about that for ages. But um, we had a number of conversations, and you were discussing certain aspects of what was going on for you, and you were different discussions, and there's in the moment conversations and the value you extract, and then there's when you get back home and you let things distill or formalize more. What's well, first of all, what kind of key factors opened up for you while you were here, and how have they manifested as you've been back now? What, 2 weeks now? You've been back? Gone quick,
Yeah.
hasn't it?
Well, real take on that is that I've come back with renewed energy on what I want to do with regards to my life here, how I can better some of the growing, some of the things I do, some of the work I do as well within the dementia area, which I do as a sideline, is very important to me, and that kind of made me think about what I'm doing with regards to that as well. So the overall picture is that you know it's given me space to step back, look at why I might be doing some things not as well as I could be doing them, and what I could do a lot better. And since I've come back, as I hope my wife would agree, I've got myself more stuck into doing a lot more work. That's for sure around this place. Um,
So her
yeah,
dastardly plan worked out.
it did. It did.
I
It
send him
did.
off to
Uh,
Cyprus, get him recharged, and get him working harder.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kicked in. I'm not sure she might 100% agree with that sentiment, but hopefully she can see some of the benefits. Um, because we can all get a bit stale at what we're doing, whether we're
Mm.
in some big corporate environment or working for ourselves. Sometimes it's great to step back. I think with the engagement that we've had and the fact that we could drive out into the countryside there and see how wonderful it is, and the feeling of just seeing that wheat blowing in the breeze, which I remember vividly,
I
um,
was just picturing that in my
really.
mind, that rustling of the mountainside of the
Yeah,
wheat and the air, and you
yeah.
just kind of stand there and you just feel, oh, that's bliss. That's like there's a freedom in that. There's a freedom, definitely.
Going up there and seeing that monastery as well, Erkan, it was just wonderful. And in the meantime, you can see the sea wherever you are, more or less, from a distance, and that feeling is truly amazing. You're absolutely blessed in that place to have such a wonderful outlook. It's truly amazing. So yeah, lots of takeouts, lots of things to try and do a little bit better. But the experience wonderful. I was taken in as part of the family, really. And yes, I had to do all sorts of washing
He
up
had to
and
do the dishes. We made. Oh, and also look,
yeah,
one of the highlights for me, and I look at them every morning when I walk out into the garden, is the 4 banana plants we planted together. Because
indeed, indeed,
Chris loves growing vegetables and fruits and all sorts, and we're both becoming quite keen in the garden. And I said to Chris before he came out, look, I've got these banana plants coming. Shall I plant them or do you want? He goes, no, no, wait, wait. I want to come and plant them with you. So they're here as a testimony to your visit.
yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
for that. Chris,
Hold on,
if
they're still alive, are they? They're still
yeah,
alive. Yeah,
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 they are. I wouldn't say they look much different to. I'm waiting for them to look a bit bigger, but I suppose when you look at them every day, they don't look too big. But apparently they're going to grow quite high. What I was going to ask you, if someone's watching this and they're thinking about coming out and spending some time with me, with this setup, with this idea of being, immersed in the garden, in going off to the beach, going off into the mountains, working on their project challenges, whatever they've got going on. What would you say to them if they were thinking about it?
Well, it may not be the most conventional thing to do, but it definitely works because it certainly worked for me. Um, we we may want to go on a holiday, a package deal, or whatever, but this is completely different to that. Um, yes, you might get a break from the norm by going on holiday, but certainly being with you, can be a very interesting experience psychologically, and I think it's completely different, completely different. So yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's something
Absolutely.
you need to do. Something
I
you
th-
need to do because the boardroom isn't where the answers lie. You've got to look beyond that, and then
yeah,
you'll find it.
that's a good name. Beyond the boardroom. I could use
Beyond
that.
the boardroom. Yeah,
Beyond the
yeah,
boardroom.
that's cool.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Chris. I mean, like I said to you, I didn't want to keep you for too long. I really appreciate your time. Any last messages to our audience before we sign off?
Yeah, you've got to think. Don't think of the Turkish Republic of North Cyprus as some sort of pariah or a problem area. It is absolutely wonderful. Make sure you go there because once you've experienced it, you'll experience freedom. You'll also experience a mind clearing experience. And with Erkan's insight, who can go wrong?
And on that note, thank you very much, Chris. So look, if you like what you're hearing and you'd like to find out more, get in touch with me and I'll give you some options. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Teşekkür ederim.
Yeah, well, that's the idea.
I'm drawing Bill
Oh,
Top.
bloody hell. Oh, shit. Is this something Simon's got you into?
Well, he brought some with him, and then it lasted like 2 days. And then I thought, God, it can't be that hard to make.